What's going on, Micro Militia? And we are back with the next song in Even in Arcadia. So if we were going in order, it would have been Caramel next, but I've already reacted to that. I will leave a card up there so you can go ahead and check that out, my reaction to that. That was actually the song that kicked it off. That was the first song I've ever heard from Sleep Token, and coincidentally, it's the song that would have been next. But again, go ahead, check that out. It was crazy mix up. You can go and see my reaction on that one. But today we have the title track. The title track is somewhat in the middle of the album, Even in Arcadia. I'm expecting it to be fantastic. I'm expecting it to be great because it's following up, well, technically it's following up Caramel, so it's got some big shoes to fill when it comes to the genre fusing. So since that one was so heavily juxtaposed with the two genres it had the black metal, death metal mixed with the rap. So I'm expecting this one to be maybe a little more tame when it comes to that, maybe a little more lyrical, story progressing, you know what I'm saying? And of course, guys, there's only one way to find out. That's for us to hop into the song. But before we hop into it, guys, if you do enjoy the video, be sure to drop the hot thumbs up. Subscribe if you are new to the channel and you want to be with me on the conclusion of the Sleep Token journey. But of course, guys, I'm very excited. Let's go ahead and hop into Even in Arcadia, the title track for the album. It's like wind chimes. It's like some Asian influenced thing right there, just like the beginning of Emergence. Very pretty.
Swing wide those gates, 'cause I have paid my penance kindly, waiting time for judgment day. Somehow I knew my fate. Turns out the gods we thought were dying were just sharpening their blades. Have you been waiting long for me?
Very gospel-esque on that one. Okay, you already know before we get into it, so somber, so beautiful. And before, when I mentioned if Arcadia was like another like sort of perfection like Eden, y'all let me know like the biblical aspect. It's like another garden, and he's for Judgment Day, so it's like he's died and gone to heaven. But we know Vessel likes to speak in metaphor, so he's paid his penance, so he's paid his due in time for Judgment Day. So this is like his Judgment Day. Now, in Arcadia, is that where Judgment Day happens? Someone actually, I think, mentioned, I don't remember if it was Arcadia, it must have been, or Eden, where it's like the entrance to heaven. So that must be Arcadia, and that's what's happening here. It's the entrance to heaven, and this is the Judgment Day. This is if the decision if you get to go to heaven or hell, I'm assuming. And he's asking God, presumably, whoever's at the gate. I'm not sure if God is at the gate or if someone else is, but have you been waiting long for me? It seems like they have been waiting long for you because of the damn relationship you were in, that you never wanted to leave, that you wanted to let suck you in. Very beautiful though, very somber. The piano, absolutely gorgeous, and Vessel's voice is shining in this album. Vessel's voice so far is shining in this album more than any of the other albums. Like, well, I hate to say it again, but this album so far musically, vocally, pretty much all aspects so far I even like the lore better because it seems like not so depressing. It seems more hopeful. So everything about this album so far is progressing from the previous 3 albums. So let's go ahead and get back into it.
For me,
Me.
I am the final dawn. I am the flood. What was missing from those scriptures will be written in my blood.
Ooh, nice little pan effect.
Into the mind. What good is all this talk of wings when there is nothing left above? Have you been waiting long for me? Have you been waiting long?
Right there, that little background sound effect. I'm not sure if maybe I just misread that, but the tone of it sounded like the growl from, I believe it was Euclid, or was it Take Me Back to Eden? It might have been Take Me Back to Eden, that growl that I mentioned at the beginning. That was like the devil entering Eden, so it was Take Me Back to Eden. It kind of was reminiscent of that. So it's the devil now present in Arcadia. Is sleep, is the temptation now present in Arcadia? Very interesting. Let's try and see if we can catch that again.
For me, have you been waiting
Ooh, I think so.
long? No matter how we feel, we've got a time
Powerful.
to kill. No matter what is real, it seems that even in Arcadia, you walk beside me still. Have you
There it was. And I feel stupid for not catching this earlier. It seems that even in Arcadia, you walk beside me still. There it is. It's Judgment Day. It's supposed to be the judgment of heaven or hell. Even here at the entrance to heaven in Arcadia, if I'm getting that right, you walk beside me still. It's still remnants of his past life. It's still sleep. It's still the toxicity. It's still that all around badness, that depression that follows him, that relationship is still right now in his life. And I hate to break it to you, Vessel, it always will be. It has to come to a point, and I think it is. I think that's okay. I think that these feelings, these remnants from the old life, the toxicity, maybe even you haven't thought about it in years, like you mentioned. I believe that's okay because that's part of the progression. That's part of the process. I know I keep bringing it back to drugs, and I'm not saying this necessarily has anything to do with drugs. And I think drugs just parallel an addiction. It doesn't necessarily have to be drugs, so maybe I'm reaching there. But an addiction, even if it's to a person, relapsing is part of the process. Yes, it's not good. Yes, you shouldn't go back. But at the end of the day, relapses are part of the progression. They are part of the process. You cannot keep dwelling on that. You can't keep thinking about it. You keep pushing forward. Yeah, it's a relapse. Yeah, it's still in your life. Yeah, you're still thinking about it. But that's all part of healing. It's not just going to all go away at the same time. But there's the confirmation that even in Arcadia, the devil, the darkness is still here. All right, continue. Oh. That's different. Okay, I hate to pause it so soon, but that is something we have never heard before. At least not that I remember. We've heard screaming, we've heard all out rage. Caramel was a perfect example of that, where he kind of just seemed like he was done with everything. I went and re-watched the lyrics. Well, I listened to it again a few times today, but also I went and looked at the lyrics again. And I also watched some other reactors react to Caramel today. And that seems like more personal, down to who Vessel is as a person. And it seemed like he was just done with everything. That's where the rage came from. In that song, the whole black death metal part of Caramel was him kind of just being done with everything. So the rage coming up in his real deep screams, his real heavy screams. But this was different. This wasn't just screaming. This wasn't just rage. This was straight passion. This was straight from the soul, from the gut, what he just did right here. We're definitely going to take that back. Wow. Yeah. It's like, why have you made me wait this long? This is it. This sounds like the end. This sounds like longing. Sounds like almost a record player, maybe even Rain. Ooh, he's in hell. Ooh, what is that? Whoa, very red. Very reminiscent of hell there. Is he in hell? Oh, it was Judgment Day. I guess the judgment has been cast. He got sent to hell. Or maybe he feels like he got sent to hell. So where does the album go from here? If that was Judgment Day, and it seems like he either got sent to hell, or the feeling of hell is still within him. The judgment of hell got passed to him. Where does the album go from here? There's only a few songs left, Gethsemane being one of them, which I already reacted to. Wow. And that violin at the end, it actually sounded, it sounded like a little low to be a violin, I guess. It's interesting. It's been a while since I've been into the whole orchestra side of things. I haven't played a string instrument like that since I played the viola in like 6th grade, 7th grade. So that was many, many years ago. I actually switched from the violin to the viola. To me, that sounded it sounded low to be a violin. So I'm pretty sure that was either a viola or a cello. Probably a cello. Viola is not really as common, so it was probably a cello. But how beautiful. How absolutely beautiful. Was that another collaboration? Someone in the comments let me know that the saxophone solo at the end of Emergence was a collaboration with another artist. And I should have put that together too, because Vessel does all the instruments aside from the drums, because that's 2. Which, I just realized 2 was not in the song. No drums. But yeah, does Vessel play the cello or the viola, whatever string instrument that was? Or was that another collaboration? I'm assuming it was another collaboration, but just because I can't bring myself to believe that Vessel's that talented that he plays yet another instrument. But wow, how beautiful. How, like I said, it felt like it was a judgment. It felt like the end. It felt like he came to that string solo there at the end. It sounded like he was coming to the end of a road. Judgment, I guess. The end, Judgment Day. It's the end of it's the end. You're either being sent to hell or you're being banished to you're either being let through to heaven or you're being banished to hell. So wow, the way that this album specifically is telling a story with the music is just 10 out of 10. It's flawless. It is actually flawless with the musicality and just the way that the story is being told through music in this album so far is phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. And he mentions he already knew his fate in the lyrics, so he kind of knew that he was going to be banished to hell, if that's what we're assuming happened here. And turns out the gods we thought were dying were just sharpening their blades, so they were just waiting for it. I don't know if I necessarily agree with him. The art is in the eye of the beholder. I've said that many times before on the Sleep Token journey. I think he's stuck in his own head. I think he's not, he's wanting to keep himself here for safety is kind of what I'm getting for this. Like he manifested himself into hell, I think is kind of what I'm getting from this, because he's obsessed with this toxicity. And I think in a way he likes it. I really do. I really think in a way that he craves it. Maybe I'm completely off there. Maybe I'm being a little too pessimistic there, but he said, somehow I knew my fate. That means in his own mind, he had already made up where he was going to go. The judgment didn't need to be cast because he already knew his fate. Kind of sounds like he's giving up a little bit. This one I'm struggling to decipher a little bit, maybe because of my lack of the biblical knowledge. But I am the final dawn. I am the flood. Referencing flood again, that water. And what was missing from those scriptures will be written in my blood. What scriptures? Were there missing scriptures? Or was there stuff missing from scriptures from the Bible that was translated? Or, yeah, see, I'm struggling with that just because of my lack of knowledge with the subject matter. And dig down into mud. What good is all this talk of wings when there's nothing left above? So it sounds very hopeless. It sounds like he's kind of lulling. It sounds like he is kind of going through not remission, a relapse. He's kind of falling back into the depression, and he was kind of waiting for it. Wow, this was a great song. Very, very bare bones, but very powerful, very strong. Again, we had in the background the devil entering Arcadia. Even in Arcadia, you walk with me still. And then the beautiful, beautiful string ending that really kind of it sounded like the end. It sounded like the finale to a road. But we still have at least a couple songs left in this album. So I really cannot wait to see how this one finishes out. Alrighty guys, thank you so much for tuning into the video. If you did enjoy it, again, please sure to drop the hot thumbs up. Subscribe if you're with me till the end of the Sleep Token journey. I really do appreciate y'all for stopping by and continuing along the Sleep Token journey with me. And I will catch y'all all on the next one. At ease, Micro Militia.